Hey guys, I'm Ben Bateman. God damn it!
I'm walking past.
Okay, we're back. So, it's another reaction video.
Oh, didn't see that coming, did you? Chicago, man. Did you have a good time?
I did. I mean, to a point.
I'm having a great time. All right. That's enough of the kayfabe. This is the first live event that I streamed. I watched the whole thing at home.
You watched the whole video.
Watched the whole damn thing, and I was running around my house. I'd had a couple drinks. I was like jumping up and down. I was like a true fan.
It was a crazy experience. Sorry, my ear's ringing a little bit. My head is from getting slapped in the face twice this week.
Good idea.
There's so much to talk about with Chicago. This was crazy. So we did like an oral history of team action at one point.
Yeah.
We like took it all the way through the spectacular of last year. And this was the crown jewel moment the Schmoedown's had so far, because it's 1,000 people. It was a live, sold out theater. It was
God, I feel so bad right now. The security guard, what is his name again?
BC?
Yeah, BC.
Yeah.
I just remember that guy. He did a video from the side of the stage.
Yeah.
I got chills.
Yeah.
The whole place was fucking shaking, dude.
It was I want to like play by play it. And guys, we have a match coming up on 18th in Houston.
Yep.
I really need to win. I would really like to win. We're obviously playing these various storylines, and the bottom line is, storyline or not, like Drew and I are going in there to kick each other's ass.
Always, like
straight up, like there is no hesitation. Like I want to win. He wants to kill somebody who
no one thinks I'm going to win. We both don't really think I'm going to win, but I know I'm going to win, just like I did against Riley and just like I did against Merle. And, when we had our match, the family against Who's the Boss, we knew that the family needed to win. Now, you still played out of your mind. You had a perfect round one, your first one ever, and you played very well, and we needed to win. The same way that, honestly, I feel like you do need to win in Houston. I want to stop you. I want to win.
If I don't win in Houston, like if it just goes your favor that day, if everything lines up against me, it's a pretty tough look for me. And this is the problem sometimes with storyline matches. So the fake Drew match, obviously I'm willing to go into that match, and I believe it's not like Vince Stock's an abysmal player. He can get some questions right.
But like Drew McQueenie,
it's unlikely that I'm going to win that match. We almost won anyway.
I know,
but it's unfortunate because it still sets me up as a player as having a loss to start the year.
Yep,
not a great showing at the free for all for either of us.
Yeah, no.
And then I lose this match in Chicago, and so now it sets up where if I lose to you, I don't really know from a storyline perspective what Christian's supposed to do with me.
I know, I don't either, which is crazy because you are literally one of the top superstars in the league. Everyone's talking about you. You've done this. I honestly think you're a face now. I think you've done like a face turn over with the family against Who's the Boss, plus what just happened in Chicago. Like, you're a face now, and you've played a perfect round one. Basically, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was your perfect round two, which we'll get to in Chicago, but like, you can't just not play after Houston in singles.
It's weird. I definitely am like a little cursed in terms of the types of matches that I'm in. It just seems to happen like repeatedly where it's so close.
Yeah.
I mean, Riley and I have now gone perfect 12-0 in back-to-back matches and lost both times.
I was going to say, you guys have had perfect round twos like a handful of times, or like 3 times.
Festival
total.
Darlings, we 12-0'd.
Yep.
And we 12-0'd
Brad Pitt too, didn't you?
That was against Clark. We 12-0'd Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I 12-0'd. That was in our final match. In fact, we've had 3 matches in a row 12-0'd in round 2, only one of which we won. So that's pretty crazy.
What was the one you won?
We beat the Harris brothers to win the tournament.
Right.
I think it was 12-0 in Cruise.
I think that's right.
Because I got like the Few Good Men Cocoa Puffs question, and like we got Fidelio, and like there was some. That was a great
Did you
match.
call me? Yeah, so we're going to get into the reaction. I'm going to kind of take a seat back because you were there for a few days before. You can kind of give me the lead up. I've never had more FOMO, fear of missing out, in my whole life.
It was the whole experience was nuts. And I think this is one of those moments where every Schmoedown competitor, yourself, myself, John Roca, Mark Riley, Dan Merle, everybody wanted to be at this event. Everybody wanted to be on the bill for this event. And the hard work we've put in the last couple of years, combined with the fact that Riley and I just crushed in the tournament, was just like, this was our moment. He wanted to give us this moment. And so...
And it was such a good match. Such a good match.
Yeah, so I mean, like talking about leading up to it, Riley and I, we were pretty dialed, pretty well studied. We knew the categories that we wanted. We had picked movie release dates and scores and soundtracks for the wheel. The one really weird thing for me, getting into Chicago.
Is it just two?
You get two
teams.
You get two. Yeah. Getting to Chicago, I was flying in that week from work from business stuff. I was on the road all week, and I got in, Thursday night, and I had a day. I had Friday to basically hang out. And I went into a coffee shop, and the barista at the coffee shop, like, it was a huge team action fan, knew who I was going to be at the show, was so excited.
Your boss?
Yeah, it was amazing. And we went on the radio on WGN, Christian and Mark and I.
Awesome, dude.
Did a radio interview talking about the league. And then the day of the show, like, the weirdest thing about Christian turning me face is that historically, and this was the case with team action, but especially during last year's tournament, I was really starting
when you were on Who's the Boss. Yeah.
When I was doing the Who's the Boss thing, I was really starting to feel the heel energy. I was really harnessing it well. Like I played it in multiple matches in that season, and I was like, and Christian was already starting to turn, so I didn't really get to live in it for very long, but it gave Who's the Boss this edge before matches. Like I wouldn't talk to our the guys we were playing against. I wouldn't interact with them. I'd smirk. I'd wear my sunglasses. I was drinking whiskey all throughout the tournament. I played every single round in that tournament drunk.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
No. You were drunk? Or like buzzed? Or I knew you had like sips. I didn't know you were drunk.
Oh, yeah. I did 3 shots from the flask before each match.
That's
and then
amazing.
Drank throughout the match, every match.
Amazing. Yeah. I need to learn that. I need to find that level.
So I wasn't drinking at this match, and we were, backstage with Snyder and Draco, and like we were all sitting in the green room, like talking about stuff before the match, and the energy was so different from what I'm used to. I think it relaxed them more than I.
Yeah, because I asked, because we talked about this a little bit before, and it's not that it really affects you and Riley. Yeah. You guys are fine. You guys are buddies. You guys are dialed. You're ready to go. But like you said, when I watched you play against Nost and Bibbs, you got in Bibbs' head on stage. Incredibly. And like there was a moment where you had a great thing that you said to Snyder on stage and kind of shut him up for a little bit, but like you've got to imagine that like Draco and Snyder coming into that arena felt much more confident because they were just hanging out with their buddies beforehand, That and honestly, you were telling me the stuff that Roxy's been doing.
Credit to Roxy Stryer. I mean, for some things. Yeah. For some things, but she really calms that team down. She does a great job of really making that team hum. Like they're called the odd couple for a reason. Those are quirky guys who are very different.
I asked you earlier if they even like each other, you know, because they're so different.
And so, but yeah, I mean, it was fascinating. Like we're all prepped up, we're ready, we're hanging out, and the ritual before we went on stage for this match was like, Riles and I both, maybe 5 minutes before showtime, I went outside, put my headphones on, found a score, piece of music from the film If Beale Street Could Talk. That's really been relaxing me recently, and listened to that on repeat a couple times. The song is actually Gape. It's a song.
Really good.
It's pretty good, yeah. The music is unbelievable. It's scored by a guy named Nicholas Bertel, and it was James Spence, actually, when I talked about it on Twitter, that said it's one of his favorite pieces of music ever. And it's an unbelievable track.
I need to listen to it. Yeah.
And I just tried to kind of relax, and so we go out there.
Did you feel relaxed?
I felt pretty confident.
You did. You felt, but
yeah.
Because I know you don't get nerves really much, but I know you had a little bit coming into this match.
Normally, just before I go on stage, I get a little bit of this.
Yeah.
A little bit of handshake. I get a little bit of the hard fast.
Same.
And I didn't.
Really?
I didn't get a single ounce of it this time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they led us around back. It was between matches. Star Wars match had ended, and fans were kind of coming out the lobby to smoke cigarettes. Some were leaving because they were Star Wars fans. And it was weird because of the way that this theater was set up. There was no backstage area for us to enter from. So we were, BC was hanging with us and basically guarding us from fans. Right. We still had to sign some autographs and shake some hands, but he was like, you got to let these guys. And so they announce and the music comes on and we walk in there and
it's insane, dude. It was so cool to watch.
The live stream, unfortunately, at this match, they didn't follow us in the aisle like they had before because it was such a narrow aisle. So you can kind of just see it from a far distance.
Yeah.
But it's crazy the scope of it. It's and it felt that way when we walked in. It was whoa! This is being a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 people in here and they're so loud and they have signs with our names on them and they're
lights and everyone was screaming.
I mean, because when we did LA, it was 350. And that's a big event. I felt that was awesome.
Yeah.
That felt amazing.
Yeah.
And when we did Free for All, or I did New York in February as the closer, like that was 400, but 1,000, it was like
it's like 2 tiers just packed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And it was only because it's an old style Chicago theater. It was 95 feet from stage to back of house. So you have 1,000 people within 100 feet of you.
Holy sh! So I was gonna say it looked incredibly intimate, but I was like, there's no way. It's too many people.
Yeah, so it was crazy. So we get out there, blowing some kisses to the crowd. I was wearing this red scarf.
I know. Yeah, sweet.
This gray suit, like this red scarf. I wanted something that was like, even though I'm supposed to not really be a villain right now, I still wanted something that made me feel like an anime villain.
Do you know my wardrobe is kind of changing a little bit?
For your character?
Yeah.
Like intentionally?
It's something that Christian is like working and pushing. So I'm actually in Houston. I'm going to be wearing something different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I haven't even told him yet. This is the first time. So anyway.
Yeah, I've been wearing lighter colors. So it's a light gray suit. I'm wearing blues. I haven't been as much in black, white, and red.
Right.
Because that was my thing as the boss for a while there. It's not totally, but I'm just being a little less specific. So
if you play singles as boss now, you're going to be a face, right? Like that's the thing?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's like I'll never lose the flair of my character, but like it's kind of like you can't be rude to other faces, you can be rude to heels, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
It's that type of stuff. But I mean, we're going to see. It's a new character. Like Christian's working with the story this year, and like with the way that all worked out, obviously with the loss and the slap and everything. Yes, we're going to talk about the fucking slap.
We were going to talk about everything.
So we'll see. But so we go in round 1, and Draco's gets a perfect round.
What did you and Riley get? Like 6 each or something?
6 each. So it's Snyder, and it was interesting because the 2 I missed were Who Directed the American President, and the other one that I missed was what was Nicole Kidman's first Oscar nomination.
Oh, right. And you were like...
And in both cases,
yeah.
I was like, so for American President, I was like, okay, I was studying Rob Reiner last week. I was thinking about what Reiner directed in his heyday, because he had a crazy... Do you know that Rob Reiner's run from like 84 to 92 is like...
I remember when I was trying to study him going into... Might have been the tournament last year or something. I can't remember what it was, but I tried to study him. I was like, Jesus Christ. The guy, he's a legend.
Yeah, it was like, this is Spinal Tap, followed by Stand By Me, followed by The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men.
Best in Show too, or was that Guest? That was Christopher Guest.
Yeah. But it's like a crazy, crazy run. And so he does The American President, and I was like thinking, I feel like it's Rob Reiner, but maybe it's one of these 80s comedy directors. I was like, is it like...
Did Reiner pop in your head first?
It was the first thought I had. And I was like... But just before the match, I was talking to Riley about Reiner, because I had just watched Stand By Me for the first time. And he's like, yeah, he was great in the 80s. Then he really fell off in the 90s when he did North. So the fact that he said that, combined with the fact that I was like, Ivan Reitman directed Dave. Maybe it was Ivan Reitman. And then there was like one, and I hadn't written it down. I think I wrote Ivan Reitman. So I didn't get to finish the thought. So
do you have that happen? Because this is something I'm famous for.
Yeah.
Is where I get the first thing to pop in my head, and I talk myself out of it. I've done it many, many times. I even did it at my birthday with Sam Levine questioning me about movie release dates.
Yeah.
He asked me about 3 movies, and I was like, these are probably all 88 because it's making a reference to my birthday. Yeah. And I said 89 because I talked myself out of it.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that, or is this like...
Yeah. I mean, I just did it there. I don't do it as often as I used to, but sometimes it bites you in the ass, because the other question was
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman was her first Oscar nomination. The logic, I mean, this is, guys, for like, you've seen us talk strategy before, but as far as being behind the scenes go, you have about 12 seconds from the time they ask the question to the time that they call, whatever, maybe it's 15 seconds. But the thought process in that time goes like this. Nicole Kidman, okay, first category is the category of Oscars. And I think, okay, great. So they're going to say the year and the name, and I'm going to know it. What was Nicole Kidman's first Oscar? And then it immediately goes like this. Okay, well, Nicole Kidman won the Best Actress Oscar for The Hours, which was released in 2002. Now, was that her first nomination, or was she nominated for something else? What was relevant? It comes to mind. Moulin Rouge, The Others, and To Die For. It's not To Die For, that's 95. The Others is the wrong genre, so the only one is Moulin Rouge. 5, 4, and I think to myself, I know that she won for The Hours. I don't know that she was nominated for Moulin Rouge. It's round 1. I know she was nominated for The Hours. I'm going to write The Hours. That's the literal thought process that gets you to the wrong answer.
Yep.
It's a 50-50 shot.
And that's the thing, is like you said, it's round 1, so it can literally only be those 2 movies, and then that's where you got to think maybe it's probably just Moulin Rouge because it's round 1, right? It was such an iconic movie.
I just was like, my logic was, I know she was, because she won for it, that she was nominated for the Hours. Yeah. I don't know that she was nominated for Moulin Rouge, and it makes sense, but if it's round 1 and I'm going to take a guess, and I guess Moulin Rouge and I'm wrong, and the answer is The Hours, well, I knew she was nominated for The Hours.
Right, so then you'll be, And everyone else on stage, other than Draco, guessed, right? There was like one or the other.
I think me and Riley both did The Hours, and they both did Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
So that was tough. So those are my 2 misses in round 1, both of which...
Go ahead.
They both could have... I could have gone 8 for 8, and I would have gotten Nancy Meyers that directed... The Holiday. I knew that.
So how did you feel at the end of round 1 knowing that the 2 questions you had missed were basically coin tosses that went the wrong way for you? You would have gotten the 9, and now Draco's got 3 more points than you've got in round 1. How did you feel in that moment?
Well, we're a bigger game team than they are because we went further in the tournament, and we also won. We won the tournament. We lost the title. Like, we have done it. I've played live.
You won the tournament 2 years in a row because we won last year?
We lost in the finals.
Oh,
made the finals.
Right. That's right.
I definitely felt like I'm a big game player in the sense that I've played in big games. So I feel way more confident in my own ability than Draco and Snyder in front of a live crowd. This is like my 5th or 4th live crowd now.
Yeah.
So my feeling was just like we need to get a good category.
Right.
They need to have a mediocre category, and we'll be fine. We'll catch right back up.
Did you like the new the
digital wheel?
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean,
I missed the spinning.
Yeah, me too.
But you get spinner's choice.
Yeah, and I mean, so going into round 2, it's like I lean over to Riley and I just kind of say similar stuff that you and I would do, like just, hey, look, stay calm, stay relaxed. We're killers. We just need a good category here, So he goes and spins. We get spinner's choice, and it's a moment because it's like, is it going to be scores and soundtracks or release dates?
And it has to be release dates because you add more. Because I mean, you're a straight killer when it comes to release dates, and Riley is old enough and in the space enough to be like, I can say yes on this, or I can say no on this, or he might just know one that you didn't. Whereas with scores and soundtracks, I feel like Riley has more to offer to release dates than you do to scores and soundtracks. Not to say you don't know scores and soundtracks.
Yeah, I'm fine on scores and soundtracks. He's great. He studies it. He knows it inside and out. The difference is that multiple choice on both is hard. Multiple choice on years doesn't do almost anything for anyone. And I think going for it in that situation, we're trying to get 12 points. That's what we know we need to do. Mm-hmm. I think we have a better shot at 12-0ing.
Because you're never going to go to multiple choice.
Never.
Yeah.
And so it's dangerous because if I'm a year off and they get the year correctly, it's a really tough steal. We're never going to go to multiple choice.
Yeah.
But I've seen Riley struggle in scores before. It happened once before, I think against you. Right?
Didn't it?
And
it sure did.
You can get bad questions.
Was it Alan Silvestri that he hates so much for missing?
I think so, yeah. And I mean, I can miss on dates. It's happened. My thought is but bare minimum, I go 8 out of 12 points and they don't steal. That's like where my head's at with that category is like I just don't really do worse than 75%.
And you ran it. I was jumping up and down. I was stoked. I was really happy for you, honestly.
It was cool that the crowd cheered when we selected it because it was like they were excited to see it.
It's kind of like, it's like Barry Bonds walking up to the plate in his heyday. You're like, this is probably going to be a fucking home run.
Yeah. It was sweet. And they were all, half were easy, half were hard. The first 3 were The King's Speech, Dances with Wolves, and RoboCop. Those are, both of us are just immediately
easy.
And then the last 3 were Lethal Weapon 2, While You Were Sleeping, and Rebel Without a Cause. And so
that gets tough.
For Lethal Weapon 2,
I was shocked you guys got While You Were Sleeping.
Really?
Was it a guess?
No, I knew all 3, and I can explain why.
Okay.
In Lethal Weapon 2, I leaned over and I said, okay, so Lethal Weapon 1's definitely 87. It's either 89 or 90. And he looks at me and he goes, what year did Harry Met Sally come out? And I go, 89, 100%. He goes, then it's 89.
Why? Because he just knew that those two came.
Because he remembers.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's where Riley was. He watched them both in the same year in theaters. We were 1 year old.
So that one we get. Then it goes to Rebel, and I go, okay, so Rebel, Giant, East of Eden go 1, 2, 3. Those were James Dean's only 3 movies, and Rebel's the first one. So the question here is, what year is Giant? And the answer is 1956, because George Stevens should have won Best Director that year, which means Rebel has to be 55. So it's 55.
Does he go 56 or 55, 6, 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last answer is While You Were Sleeping, and it's like, okay, so when did Speed come out? Because that's shortly thereafter. She's not a movie star yet.
Right.
So you have to figure this is within 2 years of Speed. And it's like, that makes it,
So
I believe it makes it 95.
Oh, 95.
Because I think Speed's 94.
Got it.
And so that's
I thought you were saying that. Okay, gotcha.
you know,
gotcha.
that's the logic. And so that's what we guessed, and we had the 12-0 on that. So
and then you guys go and you play with the crowd a little bit, do the walk by.
I was pretty when I got while you were sleeping, I jumped out of my chair. It doesn't show it on camera.
Yeah.
It cuts to us like high-fiving the crowd,
which is it's sweet. I was like hyped at home.
Yeah.
I really was.
I was excited. Like it was just like so nice, like that moment to do that in front of that many people.
Of course. I mean, it just shows you guys are two of the greats. And then Draco and Snyder, they just don't fucking stop. They spin a category that, in my mind, I'm actually like, okay, I'm sure these guys both know a lot, but I don't think they're going to do, great.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about, they spin Kate Blanchett, and so a couple things happened. And they talk about this in their postgame, but Blanchett, so they went over the wheel with us before the match, as they always do, make sure both teams are satisfied.
Yep.
They looked up Kate Blanchett, so did we. So
as you always do.
As you do on the categories that you're a little loose on.
Yep. So or even anytime it's a specific actor or actress, you just want to go look at their thing because there's so many credits.
You can often game one answer.
Yep.
Which is what they did. The Oscars question, what was her first win? They found, they literally read it.
And I got it wrong because I was sure it was Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And it was actually
The Aviator.
The Aviator, yep.
So that's 2 points there. Most of the other questions, the gift, a couple of the others, I'm having trouble remembering the questions, but we would have gotten them all because we were leaning over.
And you had the one steal, right?
We had the opportunity to get the steal on Bandits.
Oh, right, the Bandits one. Yeah.
And I just for some reason, I saw that movie in theaters. For some reason remembered Bandits as being the polite Bandits. I was pretty confident, honestly, and it was tough. That would have swung the match. But the interesting thing is, round 2 ends, and they're like 1 point. They got 10.
I think they're 1 or 2 above, right?
So they're winning by 1 because we're winning by 9. They're up by a point. And going into round 3, I just said, okay, look, man, we've got this. Like, relax. They say modern classics.
How is Riley doing in this? Does he seem pretty calm, or does he seem
above average in terms of nerves? He's good.
He's doing great. Okay,
he's doing good, but he definitely I was feeling more relaxed, I think, than he was because what happened is they say 2-pointer modern classics, and I said, I'm feeling dialed, man. I'm feeling dialed. Before they said that, and he goes, okay, you're feeling dialed. I'm gonna take modern classics. You take the 3.
Right. Okay. And the modern classics question was
who plays Jed in Red Dawn?
Oh, which I actually don't think I would have answered.
The Swayze question?
Yeah. And that's when he said Swayze, I was like, oh, damn, okay, that's actually... I was... Would you have known it 100% because you love Swayze?
Yeah.
See, that's
but I wouldn't have known it because I know the movie super well. I would have known it because I would have gone in my mind, Red Dawn, original Red Dawn, it's Swayze on the cover. New Red Dawn, it's Chris Hemsworth on the cover, right?
I know.
Hemsworth is the star in the remake. And Hemsworth and Swayze are definitely the same character. If they're going to ask him a 2-pointer who's a specific lead, it's going to be the older brother character because I think that's what they define. So then you go, okay, it can't be one of the other brothers. It has to be Swayze.
And this is the moment where shit starts to get a little awry because, I mean, I know it goes to them, but really it's about coming back to you and the 3-pointer.
They get there too, and and it comes back to me, and the category is war movies. 3-pointer. And the question is, who directed Overlord? Now, first of all, Snyder jumps up and runs around. He's like, he doesn't know it. And the reason he thinks that is because he knows that's a ridiculous 3-point question.
It's a ridiculous question. Now, why didn't he challenge? Is it in that moment?
You're talking about him taunting?
Yeah, because there's this whole thing, and I've gotten in trouble for it before because I like to talk when other people are doing their shit, but this is a moment in a live stage in front of 1,000 people. It's just straight breaking the rules. This is something that we've talked about in the meeting many, many times. You cannot fucking talk when your opponent is thinking of an answer.
Yeah. I didn't challenge because at that moment, I wasn't bothered by it. I knew I didn't know it. I just knew I didn't know the answer. So I could. I mean, that's a moment where if you have more wherewithal, you do challenge. You try to.
Yeah, you immediately I don't know the answer.
Weasel your way out of it.
Exactly. How the fuck do I get out of this?
And I think it was the live crowd and the nerves and everything. I just didn't. And I tried to think. Okay, I know that I don't know this answer because if it was somebody that I knew, I would know who did it.
Yeah.
I know that it's produced by J.J. Abrams, and I was like, okay, Drew Goddard did Cabin in the Woods, and he did something else this last year.
And I really liked your metaphor of talking about Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Because that in Cloverfield, it's like when Cloverfield came out, a year later, no one would have said who directed Cloverfield.
Yeah, it's like that movie that was produced by J.J. Abrams that was successful. And, now Matt Reeves has done the Apes movies, and he's doing Batman, so it's a different story. But, Nobody knows who Julius Avery is. That's not
I still did not know the answer.
That's like not a real question right now. Is a 3-pointer. Now we didn't lose because I missed the 3. We lost because we missed the 5.
Right. But also, you get in your head more when you miss the 3, and you realize so much weight is on the 5.
Well, because of the differential in points there, I leaned over to Riley afterwards and I said, "Look, dude, think about this for a second. All we have to do is get the 5, and they have to miss theirs. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, if we get the 5 and we go ahead, they get their 3.
Doesn't matter.
They catch up. They're still a point behind us. Yep. They miss their 5. They lose.
Yep.
That's it. We just need to get this 5. They need to miss their 5. That is it."
Yep.
And he said, "Oh, you're right." So, and the question on Snatch is like, I just haven't seen Snatch since 2001. I haven't watched it. I never thought that movie was great. I thought it was good. It was stylish.
Right.
But it's a context question about Snatch. And I just had that moment. They asked the question. I leaned over. I thought to myself, let this be the moment where my veteran partner, who has been at this 10 years longer than me, just knows this answer and saves me. Let this be that moment. And he didn't.
You guys just both didn't.
And I tried to call repeat, but I guess we didn't have
you
one
were
left.
Out. Yep. And that when you said repeat at home, I went, "Fuck! No!" Like I yelled because I know you didn't realize that it was gone. And then that saying repeat again was the nail in the coffin. It was done right then.
Yeah, I think Riley said like burns them or something because we just looked at each other and said, "Look, I don't know it. We're gonna have to guess. What could it be? Burning the bodies, dumping them in the water, burning them in acid, And it's like wild guess every once in a while saves your ass. But we lost the match because we didn't know the 5. Yep. Draco played out of his mind. They played a better game than we did. Like that's unfortunate, and it's crazy. It's crazy to 12-0 round 2. It should be an indicator of just how good the level of competition is now.
The league, it's just changed.
It's just not what it used to be. You don't get to go in there. 2 guys go 6 of 8 in round 1 and have a perfect round 2.
That used to be like a champion. That used to be like the Patriots.
That's TKO.
Yeah.
Like in the old days,
yep.
The other team has a couple less points than you in round 1, and they go 6 points in round 2.
You got to remember, we set the points record back at 31 almost 2 years ago.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And it immediately got broken, and it's just broken several times since. So the match ends.
Yeah.
You guys lose.
This is where it gets really interesting.
This is where the drama starts coming in.
Stand up. Reach out my hand to shake Snyder's hand, shake Draco's hand. They walk off. Roxy walks up to me. I stand there in front of her, extend my hand, and I get fucking slapped across the face, blasted across the face.
And it was real.
Oh yeah,
it was a real slap. You could hear it. You can't fake that sound. Just like when I slapped him at the beginning of this video, I slapped him for real.
I got cracked, and it was like definitely felt it, and then this video of you comes on. So,
so the video, this is the whole point of these behind the scenes thing is exactly what that is. It's behind the scenes. And, Christian had reached out to me a few days beforehand saying, regardless of the outcome, this is the video. This is what is going to happen. Now, I don't know how it would have played if you guys won in Roxy. It would have been around the same thing, but I recorded the video. I sent it to him that night. And he messaged me back like 20 minutes later being like, this isn't exactly what we want. We need more. And I was definitely annoyed and tired, but I was like, all right, whatever. I'll get back to it tomorrow. Send him the video. He loves it. I sent it to you. You're like, it's fucking perfect. And then it comes on stage.
And this is one of those things guys, where I'm not going to go too much in depth on the nature of my relationship to Roxy. I'm not going to go too much in depth as to why she did that. We'll save that for another video.
Yeah, maybe after Houston, you guys will get a look in on that.
But what I will say is, for anybody wondering, we would not have done that, played that angle if everybody wasn't comfortable.
Yes, it was. I called you actually.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if Christian knows this, but I called Ben after I'd recorded the first video, before I recorded the second.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey man, I know you talked to him about this, but I don't know if you've seen the script.
Yeah.
So I read the script to you, and we kind of sat there, and you just went, look, man, this isn't real life.
Yeah.
It is not. These are characters in the Schmoedown, and that's what it is.
And it's, just like wrestling does, it plays off real life. Roxy and I dated for many years, and we would never been able to pull this off or do anything like that if she and I weren't in a good place. I'm not going to really speak much more on that, but it's not like we came up with that, as I said. It's like the Christian comes up with that. We're pieces of the story. Roxy's a competitor. She's on Collider Live. She has a team. She's a manager. I have my own team. We were formerly teammates. That we also all work together in different capacities. So there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and the thing is like Christian will present a storyline, and it's not like do you like this or not? It's like, how do we make this work? You know what I mean? It's not like you can say yes or no. I mean, I'm sure you guys could have just completely disagreed to this, but I'm sure also in your mind when he presents it, it's like, we need to make this work for the show.
It's a good story for the show. Look, I got slapped across the face. It was a real hit. We didn't rehearse it because I didn't want to get hit twice.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it. It's like the stuff that she says in the post-game interview. It's not I mean, it's not wrong. Like she did. She helped me study. Like when we were together, she helped me study. When like there's a lot to that stuff. So I think probably I'll be a little more willing to expound more on it later on, maybe like post Houston.
Yeah, after maybe Houston, after kind of things have. Because in Houston, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go down. Ben and I already know a bit of the storyline that's going to happen there, no matter what the outcome. So we'll probably talk about that, obviously, after we'll do another reaction in about a month.
I mean, like, it is weird. My sister and my mom were watching.
They were?
They're streaming it,
oh,
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know this.
You know, my mom was like, I had a hard time watching it. Like, my sister didn't, like, because she was like, you know, she's like, she's up in the video, and Andrew, it's like the love of your life. She's like pointing all this stuff out.
Who
and I was
said
like,
this, your mom or your sister?
They both like said, you know, moments of it. Just like, I'm so confused. Like, what is real? And I was like, guys, it's all writing. This is a character. She's a character. Like, anything I need to deal with Roxy, I'm dealing with personally.
I feel bad that your mom watched me be such a dick.
Yeah. But like both of them, just because they were so unfamiliar with the way the storyline sort of has those influences of real life, I was like, guys, Andrew doesn't need to like talk to me on a big screen in front of 1,000 people if he wants to talk to me. And if I want to talk to Roxy about something, I will call Roxy.
Right.
Like, she's not going to hit me.
Well, this is the thing that's been kind of crazy. And, you know, Christian's been texting you and me, and I'm assuming he's been texting Roxy as well about like not the backlash, but like, I mean, yeah, I guess backlash is the correct word. The community is kind of up in arms about this whole thing, which means we're doing our job right.
Yeah, people don't really know what to believe, what's real, what's not. And guys, the friggin' point of kayfabe, the whole idea is that you're supposed to blend reality and fantasy, and that's what makes it appealing.
And when people say they don't know what's real and what's not, that is such a huge win for us. Yeah. That's the point.
That's the point. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many things here, and I don't want to go too much deeper into it, but that's how the event ended. And then, you know, we all went out, and it sucks. I hate losing.
Yeah, I know. I felt real. Because I was telling you, I was like, I kind of wanted you to lose at one point, but then I really wanted you to win. And then, like, at the end, I mean, I sent you, like, 10 texts. I was like, you know, you played out of your mind. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Well, and, like, too, like, I mean, there's... The interesting thing is, when your video started playing, like, at one point I, like, yell at the screen, like, shut up.
Yeah.
That's improv. Yeah. That's I just lost and got slapped across the face. I'm frustrated.
Yeah,
now I'm
like
watching
real...
I knew the video was coming, but it didn't matter. It didn't make watching it in front of 1,000 people after I just lost and gotten hit any less shitty.
Probably made it more shitty because you knew exactly where it was going to go because you'd seen it already.
Yeah, so like again, guys, it's like you can't really expect people to just be full character, full fantasy. It doesn't really work in this world because we are all playing real. I'm playing a character named Ben Bateman.
Right.
I'm not playing a character named Brody Kingsley.
Right.
I'm
That'd
like
be a sweet character.
It's a good name.
It's a good. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
Sick.
You know, like so, it is a version of me. You're a version of you. We all are.
100%.
It doesn't work unless you're taking elements of yourself and putting it into the character. But
the worst parts of me.
Yeah, I got really punched in the dick there. So
yeah. So that said, Chicago Live, craziest, coolest, most badass live event we've done. The implications for the future of Schmoedown are like through the roof because of that. What's next for Who's the Boss? And we'll kind of leave it at that, I think. Do you know?
No. I think that, losing to the Odd Couple, the other teams that would be in contention for those top spots are probably Corruption and Critically Acclaimed, I'm thinking, because Shire Wolves are the current champs.
You already destroyed Corruption. That kid so much just looks at me. I'm going to burn this. That's one of my favorite lines ever. Yeah.
There's a Founding Fathers, I think, are like 1-1 right now. I think, right? Because they lost to Corruption and then they beat someone at the live event.
Oh, yeah, the one where they all cried.
Yeah. I hate you. No, but like, I would imagine we'll probably be close to the top still. Losing to the Odd Couple shouldn't knock us down too far. I don't know what Christian's plans are for his next event. I mean, I think he already announced San Diego. That's in July, and I don't.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what the next live event after that is. I know he had talked about Orlando at some point.
I think I heard rumblings of Florida, but I honestly have no idea. I know that I'm supposed to play Inky and the Brain next.
Yeah.
I think that Rachel Silvestrini called us out, but I don't even know when I'm going to play that match.
Yeah, I actually don't. I can't remember if Orlando was a conversation or if that was like a poll on the internet. Because I know Boston was also high on the list. And
don't go anywhere and spread this information.
Going back to New York, I think is a high on the list idea. So there's a bunch of them. I'm not sure what's next, but he'll probably, and then there's Collision in June. So he'll look for some way to use Who's the Boss. If I lose to you, then I don't know what Who's the Boss does. Probably the tournament. We would play in the tournament. That's the next time we'd play, I would guess. If I win, then maybe we get a shot before the tournament. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens if you win and what your match is going to be that you put me up.
I just have had so much bad luck in these matches. I've been so close so many times. I'm just waiting to go on a run where okay, great. You win 3 in singles and you win 3 in teams. I did it last year at the end of the year.
I mean, your first perfect game ever was against me.
In a fake match.
But still, it just shows it's there. Maybe I bring out the best in you when you're playing against me.
So it's I want to win a title. I want to win multiple titles. I know I'm good enough to win
are good.
title.
That's the thing. Is you legitimately, I mean, 5 years ago you would have been a champion. Even 3 years ago you probably would have been a champion already. The league's talent, as you said earlier, is just exponentially growing. The fact that John Roca and Dan Murrell as a team are 1-1 is pretty damn crazy. So I think you'll win a belt. I really do. I think you'll win a belt one day.
I hope I win it this year.
Not against me, but
I don't have a lot of patience left. But
I really want Who's the Boss versus the Family. I want that title match.
Family's all that we have.
Family's all that we have.
I want you in a promo looking at Roca. Family's all that we have, John.
And then we kiss.
What?
Oh, what? That's not going to happen. We're going to edit that out.
Yeah.
We're not. So we'll be doing another one of these. We're doing these reactions once a month, no matter what.
We pick the match that's the most relevant. It's usually one of ours, but we try to do one Schmoedown reaction a month. And more videos coming. There's a new Patreon video up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the live watch-along we're doing of Avengers Infinity War. It's on Monday, the 22nd of April. You're probably watching this. It's probably tomorrow when you're watching this, unless you missed it. But be sure to check it out. Every single patron at the $10 level and above gets access to it to watch with us as we prepare for Endgame. We're super, super hyped for it.
Oh, and this speaks to all of you because this is directly to the Schmoedown audience. If you are a patron at the $1 level all the way to the $50 level, we will be doing an Action Army Team Action meetup after the match, after the dust settles, no matter who wins, we will still be having a meetup. So go and join that Patreon, patreon.com/teamaction, and come and hang out with us in Houston.
Hey guys, thanks a lot.
Bye.